right.
Oh!
This is Andy versus Dano. Hey, Andy. This is a competition between me and Andy to see who can lose the most weight by December 31st, 2010. We're two average guys looking to improve our lives, hoping that we can influence and help others do the same. This week, we're going to do our workout updates. We're going to talk about who inspires us. We're going to reflect on our curious questions. And that should be a wrap after that. Please remember, if you're in the audience, you can pipe in at any time and ask questions. Let us know what you think. Let's get the show on the road. So, Andy, how you been doing this last week?
Going to the gym about 5 times a week, and my eating has been on and off. But for the most part, it's pretty healthy. It's a lot of steamed vegetable and stuff like that. And the whole thing with a lot of people who's doing this meatless Monday thing, I'm thinking about just going meatless for the rest of the week. Just go meatless for the rest of the week. Just eating vegetable, fruits, and I think the only protein that I'll get, I guess you can call it meat or not meat, but I'm gonna be eating egg white.
Okay.
I don't want to, because it's gonna be hard to really supplement the protein with I don't know, beans or tofu or something like that.
It's interesting that you ask about the protein, because I have some research on protein. So maybe I'll have some tips for you here in a few minutes.
Yeah, hopefully egg white is enough to do the trick. But yeah, just eating like that and just hitting the gym about 1 day less than I did last week. But now every time I hit the gym is completely different. I'm not going there to, I'm not going there to try to throw up. Yeah, before I would try to work out as hard as I can to the point where I'm about to faint or I'm about to throw up, so that I know, hey, I put in everything I got and there's no such thing as a plateau for me, because if I'm sweating and about to vomit, I mean, I've reached my highest point, right? But now what I'm doing is, if I'm doing pull-ups, I actually have a goal in mind. I want to be at least hit 20 pull-up without rest at all. I mean, that's a long goal for me. If I'm doing push-up, I want to do at least 50 reps in one set, and I want to do 10 sets with about 2 to 5 minute in between breaks. That's my ultimate goal. Even on the treadmill, my ultimate goal is to stay on that thing for 3 hours. I know it sounds really ridiculous right now, but I think by the time I'm done with everything, I would be fit enough to actually do that, without breaking too much of a sweat. And I think instead of measuring myself if I vomit or not, my ultimate goal are these pinpoints, these things that I'm trying to reach. So every single week, every single day, I'm just going to keep improving until I hit that point. And for someone who's able to do, 20 pull-up without rest, or 500 push-up, or stay 3 hours on the treadmill, I think that person is pretty fit already, right? Regardless of how I look.
Yeah.
My heart and lung and everything will be a lot healthier inside. So, yeah. How's your workout and your past week so far?
I mean, going back to what you're talking about with the push-ups and the pull-ups, I mean, that's military, Army basic training, and those guys get pretty fit. So there's definitely something to that. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to do exactly the opposite of what you're doing. I've been doing long cardio sessions, and I was looking online, I was watching some videos, and I realized that, I'm kind of still plateauing. I'm still in like the 260s and 270s. So I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna do something completely different. And so instead of doing the hour-long cardio on the elliptical machine or something, I'm gonna do 20 minutes as hard as I can go. I'm gonna shrink that bad boy down. And I'm also gonna spread out, because you're talking about how you're not doing very much more you're not doing protein this week. I'm gonna be doing a lot more protein, because I'm gonna focus more on muscle gains as opposed to cardio. So I've split up my what sections of my body I'm gonna work every day. So I'm going to go into this rotation of chest, bicep, like chest on one day, biceps, triceps, forearms the next day, which I did today. Back and traps the next day, calves, shoulders, and abdominals the day after that, and then legs, and then repeat. So before it used to be like arms, legs, and I don't think maybe I'm not giving myself enough time to heal, so I'm going to stretch it out quite a bit, incorporate some new exercises that I haven't done before, like I don't think I've ever really worked at my forearms, and today I had like a 30-pound weight, and I'm like, oh my god, really? I can't do 30 pounds with my forearms. This is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm doing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
For the past week, for the past several weeks, I've been losing pound every single week. But this past week, I actually gained pounds.
Oh.
And I guess I can kind of see why, but I've been doing a lot of weights. I'll spend an hour just doing weight training before I do an hour of my cardio and stuff like that. But yeah, every single day I'm increasing the weights. I'm doing dumbbells and I'm doing the benches and I'm doing all the machines right there. And yeah, after I do all my weights and work out my arm, it's super stiff. It's a lot bigger and it's super stiff. But then when I get on the scale the next day, I'm always increasing. So yesterday when I weighed myself in, I'm 208 pounds around. Yeah, 208 pounds. So that's an increase about 1.5 pounds. So that's why I've decided that this coming up week, I'm just going to do a lot more cardio instead of weights. So yeah, and another thing is I've been noticing that I've been having a lot of joint issue. And I remember the doctor did say, like, hey, if you're overweight, obese, you shouldn't jog too much or run too much. You should do a lot of cardio or anything that doesn't put too much weight on your knees or ankles or anything like that, because you can really damage it with the upper body weight that you have right now. So once you get the weight down, then you can start jogging and running and stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do and see if my joint pains go away.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about the same stuff. So actually, a while back, I bought this stuff. Like, it's kind of designed for older people, but I'm trying to like show the product in my face. And so I was kind of worried about the same thing, because I mean, I bought this when I weighed like over 300 pounds, and I'm trying to jog, and I could kind of feel my left knee hurting. I'm like, oh, I don't want to damage myself. Yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So I got these just in case, that maybe help out. It's called. I got these at Costco. Obviously, it's a Kirkland brand.
Yeah, I noticed that. Is it like omega-3 or something like that? That kind of helps out the joint.
I don't know.
What is it? What's inside?
Salt. It's nothing but salt. Just kidding. It looks to contain the stuff that how I am with pronouncing words.
Okay, forget about it. We're gonna save our audience from.
No more going deaf from me not pronouncing stuff.
You know what? I'm gonna look into it, and I'm probably gonna get some supplements that's gonna help out my joints, because I really don't want it to go bad. And every time I wake up, it's hurting like crazy. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, but that's something I really have to look into, because I am doing a lot of leg workout. Putting a lot of pressure on my joints and stuff like that when I'm at the gym.
Maybe it's just lighten it up, just go for larger reps, or like more reps in a set, and just lighten up the weight. Because I know you can really hurt yourself if you're not used to lifting weights, and you start lifting weights immediately. You're like, oh, I'm lifting weights. Yeah, and then like, oh, why do I hurt? Because you really should, when you start lifting weights, you really get used to the form, and you lift. So you usually start with lighter weights, even though they may seem easy. It's not always about how much weight.
The weights are okay. I'm good with the weights, because I go with other people and they've been doing it for years, so they show me the proper way and everything. The only thing is just the treadmill, the Stairmaster, and the elliptical. It's all putting my upper body weight on my joints and knees and all that. So yeah. So how's your weight going?
So last week I have another tab open, and I should actually know this in my head, but I'm not gonna remember it because I'm on a live recording. Last week I weighed 265.75, and then earlier this week I weighed in at 264. It started going back up again. I'm like, no, don't do that. And Luckily today it fell back down to 264, so that's a total weight loss of 1.75 pounds, or 2 pounds if you want to round up. That's almost 3% since we started the competition. I think one of the cool things that a lot of people may not know about is that this is actually a 50-pound marker for me of losing weight. I started like this a few years ago trying to lose weight. I started, last time I weighed myself when I first started was 314. 264 is a huge marker to hit. So hopefully we'll hit the 100-pound eventually here.
Yeah, good job.
Thank
good
you.
job on that.
It's unfortunate you gained weight. I mean, it brings up the question that Tiffany in our audience was asking about muscle gains. And I did some research, and it looked, from what I read, it looked very hard to actually gain muscle. Like, it took a lot more time. Like, you just don't gain it.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe that's what is causing you to gain some weight. Is maybe it is muscle.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I noticed that when I'm at the gym, I weigh myself like 3-4 times before the workout, during the workout, after the workout, and my weight will range from 3 to 4 pounds. Believe it or not, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. So I've weighed myself in the morning before I start working out. I'd be at a certain weight, and then after working out, I'll drop like a half a pound. If I work out later in the day, like at 4 or something like that, I actually gain like 4 pounds. And I mean, that could be just eating or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So maybe we don't have to worry too much about, you know, the 1 or 2 pounds every week and stuff like that. Well, what I'll do is I'll think about the weekly weight, but then I'll also emphasize more on the monthly weight, right? Because of all the, you know, the increases and decreases that's affected by so many other different things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I should be weighing myself daily, which I do, because you really can see the line going like this.
Yeah.
And so focus on the monthly sounds like a better idea, so you really kind of don't get all upset with yourself.
Yeah. But yeah. So what inspired you the past week?
It wasn't exactly past week, but this is a person that's really inspired me. Just because I've seen him. He's a comedian. Many of you know him as Carrot Top. Very funny prop comic. I love him. I mean, some people like him, some people don't. I think he's great as a comedian. But what really inspires me about Carrot Top is that he is really fit, and he cares about his health and his fitness. And it's interesting because, you know, he looks like a bodybuilder. He looks like a football player, but he's not. He's just a comedian. And so for him to go out of his way to make sure that he's fit is like an extra step. It's like he doesn't have to do it for his profession. He's a pretty funny guy, and then there he is looking super fit. I'm going to put a video in the show notes kind of from bodybuilder.com or bodybuilding.com, where it kind of shows his, like, you know, him at the gym with some other guy. It's interesting stuff. So Carrot Top's been an inspiration for me this week. How about yourself, Andy?